Consider the following formula. Which of the following statements is true for this formula? To solve this question, we're going to need to graph our function. And to do that, we'll have to label our axes. But how do we do that? Because we're not in terms of x and y. Well, let's take a look at our answer choices. All of our answer choices use language that say if f is something, if f is greater or less than something, then that directly affects our d variable. So that means that f is the cause that affects d, or you could think about f as the input that gives us the output of d. Either way, f is going to be our x and d is going to be our y variable. So we can go ahead and label our axes as f and d, and then we can start to find our intercepts. So we'll have our f-intercept is equal to, is when d is equal to 0. And then our d-intercept is going to be where f is equal to 0. And this will be the fastest way to graph. So let's go ahead and start with our f-intercept. We'll plug in 0 for d. 0 equals 2f minus 12. Then we'll add 12 to both sides. Opposite operations. These will cancel, leaving us with 12 is equal to 2f. Then 2 is being multiplied to f, so the opposite is dividing both sides by 2. These will cancel, leaving us with 12 divided by 2 is 6 is equal to f, or the coordinate point, 6, 0. Then for our d-intercept, we'll have d equals 2 times f, which is 0, minus 12. 2 times 0 will just give us 0, leaving us with d is equal to negative 12, or the coordinate point, 0, negative 12. Now that we have our 2 points, I'm going to plot them on our coordinate plane, and I will be right back. Here I have plotted our 2 intercepts, one at 6, 0, where I went to the right, 2, 4, 6, and up 0, and 0, negative 12, where I went down 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and to the right 0. Now we can take a look at our answer choices. A says if f is greater than 2, so we're on the f-axis, I'm going to plot a line at f equals 2, and greater than is everything to the right of this line, then d is positive. That is almost true, because all of these d values are positive since they're above the x-axis, but we have this tiny set of points right here. All of these are below the x-axis and therefore negative, making A incorrect. B says if f is greater than 6, d is negative. So let's plot right at f is equal to 6. Greater than, d is negative. That's not true because all of these points are above the x-axis, making all of those d values positive. So that makes answer choice B incorrect. Answer choice C says if f is less than 6, so same line going the other way, then d is negative. This is a true statement because all of these points are below the x-axis, making all of those d values negative, and therefore making C our correct answer. At that point, you can mark C and move on with the rest of the test, but for the sake of the video, I'll go ahead and show you why D is incorrect. D says if f is less than 2, and a line at f equals 2, less than is to the left, then D is positive. This is not true because all of these values are below the x-axis, therefore making the d values negative, not positive. So D is incorrect, and answer choice C is our correct answer.